Hello, my friends. Thank you, dear friend, for being here today. I'm Tom, and today I'm not by myself. I have a new colleague with me. Hi, everyone. I'm Becky, and I'm so happy to be joining Tom today. It's wonderful to have you here, Becky. Today, we want to talk about something incredibly important for learning English. Have you ever started learning English with a lot of excitement, only to quit a week later? Do you wonder why some people can study for years while you struggle to stay consistent for even a few days? Well, the answer isn't grammar, it isn't vocabulary, it's not a book or an application, it's motivation. For so many learners, motivation is the missing piece of the puzzle. Perhaps you begin learning, but then you give up after just a few days. Maybe you get bored or you run out of energy. A lot of people believe the issue is with the material, the book, the app, or even the teacher. Yeah, precisely. But frequently, the true problem is motivation. So, Tom, what exactly do you mean by motivation? That's an excellent question. Motivation is the force that drives you forward. Without motivation, learning feels like a burden. With motivation, learning feels exciting. And today, Becky and I are going to help you discover your motivation. Your why? Yes. And I just love that you call it your why, because your why is your own individual reason. It's the response to the question, why am I learning English? For a lot of learners, this answer isn't clear. They might say English is useful. But Tom, wouldn't you agree that's too general? Yeah, that is far too general. Your why needs to be something deeply personal, something that connects with your own life. For instance, maybe your why is travel. You wish to explore new countries, order meals, ask for directions, and build friendships. Or perhaps it's your career, correct? You're looking for a better job or want more confidence in international meetings. Or maybe your why is simply passion. You adore English music. You adore English movies or books. And you want to experience them without any translation. All of these are valid reasons. But the very best why, the greatest reason, is the one that feels powerful to you. It makes you smile and fills you with energy whenever you think about it. That's a fantastic explanation, Becky. Now let's discuss two types of motivation. The first type is external motivation. External means from the outside. Okay, this is when the reason comes from someone else. For example, a teacher tells you that you must study for the exam, or a boss tells you that you need better English for your position. This motivation can be powerful at the start. You feel the pressure, so you study diligently. But here's the issue. It typically doesn't last for a long time. After the exam, the pressure vanishes. When the boss no longer asks, the reason fades away. It disappears. And when that reason disappears, your energy for studying disappears along with it. Yeah, I've observed this with countless students. They study diligently before an exam, but as soon as the exam is over, they shut the book and cease learning. That's external motivation. But Tom, I'm curious about the second type of motivation. The second type is quite different. It's known as internal motivation. So what does internal signify, Becky? Well, internal signifies from the inside, okay? External means outside, internal means inside. This motivation originates from your heart, your dreams, your own personal goals. Maybe you want to travel and converse with people in other nations. Maybe you want to feel a sense of pride that you can learn another language. These reasons belong to you. No one can ever remove them. You simply have a love for learning. You're doing it for yourself. That is the reason internal motivation endures longer. It doesn't fade away quickly. It doesn't vanish easily. It remains with you because it is linked to your life. Even when there's no exam, no teacher, or no boss, you press on because it is important to you. Picture it this way. External motivation is similar to the wind pushing you from behind as you walk. It's helpful, but when the wind dies down, you also stop. Internal motivation, on the other hand, is like a fire burning within your chest. The fire continues to burn constantly. It provides you with warmth and light. That fire is your why. That creates such a vivid picture, Becky. I truly love that. Now let's offer our listeners something practical, a daily practice. This routine is very straightforward and requires only 5 minutes, but it has the power to give you motivation for the entire day. It involves 3 steps. Connect with your reason, imagine your future, and take one small action. Okay, let's walk through them. Step 1, connect with your reason. Each morning, ask yourself, why am I learning English? Then provide an answer. Speak it aloud or jot it down. For instance, I'm learning English because I want to travel with confidence. Or, I'm learning English because I want to feel proud of myself. Don't be concerned if your English is brief or imperfect. Just state it. When you state it each day, it grows stronger in your mind. Step 2 is imagination. Imagination involves creating pictures in your mind. Close your eyes for 1 minute. Envision your future. Picture yourself in a foreign country, speaking English in a restaurant, ordering food without any stress. See yourself in a work meeting. See yourself communicating your ideas with clarity. Picture yourself laughing with international friends. Make the image in your mind vivid. Hear the sound of your voice. Feel your body as relaxed and confident. This visualization makes your why feel real. And then we come to step 3, action. Each day, perform one small task in English. It doesn't need to be something large. Listen to a brief podcast, write 3 sentences, learn one new word, or describe your breakfast in English. I am eating bread. I am drinking tea. These actions may be small, but they are incredibly powerful. Yeah, and Becky, some listeners might be thinking, only 3 sentences? Only one word? That's not enough. But that's not true. Small is strong. If you attempt to study for 2 hours daily, you might quit after 3 days. However, if you commit to 5 minutes each day, you can maintain that for weeks, months, or even years. This is why small steps are effective. Consider exercise. If you run for 1 hour on one day, but then do nothing for a month, you won't build strength. But if you walk for 10 minutes every single day, your body becomes healthier. The same principle applies to English. Small steps, repeated daily, build strength. Exactly. And let's also touch on mistakes. Mistakes are a major reason why learners get discouraged. Many learners are fearful of making mistakes. They think, my grammar is terrible. My pronunciation is terrible. As a result, they remain silent. But the reality is that mistakes are a part of the learning process. They aren't a negative thing. They help you grow. Mistakes can be your teachers. That is so true. And it's important to remember that making mistakes is also a symbol of your bravery and your advancement. Courage means you are brave. Speaking when you feel uncertain is an act of bravery. The majority of people in the world never even attempt to learn another language, yet you are trying. Every single mistake is evidence that you are strong and special. And mistakes are not permanent. They are temporary. Yeah, and at times mistakes can even draw you closer to other people. You might share a laugh. They might offer help. Perhaps they will correct you in a kind way. That little connection is formed because of the mistake. So let's shift our perspective on mistakes. They are not problems. They are practice. They are courage. They are temporary. So, let's recap. Motivation is frequently the essential missing element in English learning. External motivation, like exams, teachers, or pressure, is helpful but temporary. Internal motivation, your personal why, is more powerful and more lasting. You can reinforce your why with a simple daily routine. State your reason, envision your future, take a small action. Small actions create habits. Habits create confidence, and confidence creates fluency. Tom, you know, Becky, everything we've talked about, finding your why, taking small steps, embracing mistakes, it's all the foundation. But I think we can dive a little deeper, because even with the best intentions and the strongest why, there are days when you just don't feel like it. What happens then? Becky, that is such a critical point, Tom. Motivation isn't a constant, steady flame. It's more like a wave. Some days you're riding high, full of energy and passion, and other days you're in the trough, where the water is calm and you feel like you're not moving at all. Many learners quit in those quiet moments because they mistake a lack of motivation for a sign that they should stop. They think, well, I'm not excited about this anymore, so I guess it's over. Tom, exactly. But the secret that successful learners understand is that you don't need motivation to be there 100% of the time. What you need is a system. When motivation fades, discipline and habits take over. Think of it like a car. Your motivation, your why, is the destination you've plugged into the GPS. It's the exciting reason you're on the trip. But the habits, that's the engine that keeps the car moving, even when the road is long and boring. Becky, I love that analogy. So let's talk about building that engine. Let's give our listeners a motivation toolkit, a few extra strategies they can use when that initial fire feels a little low. My first suggestion is something called habit stacking. It sounds complex, but it's incredibly simple. You just link your new English habit to a habit you already do every single day without thinking. Tom, so instead of trying to find a new time in your day to study, you attach it to something that's already there. Becky, precisely. For example, most people brush their teeth every morning. That's a solid, established habit. So you say, right after I brush my teeth, I will write one sentence in my English journal. Or maybe you make coffee every morning. While my coffee is brewing, I will review 5 vocabulary flashcards. By stacking the new habit onto an old one, you're not relying on willpower or motivation to start. You're letting your old habit trigger the new one automatically. It's a game changer. Tom, that's brilliant because it removes the decision-making process. You don't have to ask, should I study now? It just becomes the next logical step in your routine. Okay, here's my addition to the toolkit. Environment design. We are all influenced by our surroundings. So why not design your environment to make learning English the easiest, most obvious choice? Becky, what do you mean by that? Like putting up posters? Tom, it can be that simple, but it can also be more subtle. Change the language on your smartphone to English. It might be challenging for the first couple of days, but soon you'll be learning words like settings, calendar, and notifications without even trying. Set your computer's web browser homepage to an English news website. Put a sticky note with a new English phrase on your bathroom mirror where you'll see it every morning. The goal is to reduce the friction, the effort it takes to engage with English. If English is all around you, you'll find yourself absorbing it naturally. Becky, that makes so much sense. You're making it easier to do the right thing and harder to avoid it. Okay, my final tool for the kit is about tracking your progress, but in a very visual way. It's called the Don't Break the Chain method. All you need is a calendar. Every single day that you complete your small English action, even if it's just for 5 minutes, you draw a big X over that day. Tom, so after a few days, you start to see a chain of X's forming. Becky, exactly. And your only job is to not break the chain. Suddenly, your focus shifts from, I have to study English, to I don't want to break my streak. It becomes a fun challenge. Seeing that visual proof of your consistency is incredibly motivating. It rewires your brain to crave that satisfaction of marking another X on the calendar. It's a powerful psychological trick that builds momentum. Tom, these are all fantastic practical tools, but there's one more piece of the puzzle I think we need to talk about. Doing it alone versus doing it with others. Learning a language can feel like a very lonely journey, and loneliness can be a huge motivation killer. That's why finding a community or an accountability partner is so important. Becky. Oh, absolutely. We are social creatures. Sharing your goals and your progress with someone else makes it all feel more real and more important. This could be a friend who is also learning a language. You could agree to text each other once a day with one new sentence you learn, or it could be joining an online forum for English learners where you can ask questions and see that hundreds, even thousands of other people are on the same journey as you. Tom, having an accountability partner is key. If you know that your friend Sarah is going to ask you on Friday how your English practice went this week, you are far more likely to do it. You don't want to say, oh, I didn't do anything. That external check-in provides a gentle, positive pressure that can get you through the days when your internal motivation is low. It also gives you someone to celebrate your wins with. Becky. And celebrating wins is crucial, which brings me to one final thought. We need to redefine what a win is. So many learners have this giant, vague goal of becoming fluent. That goal is so big and so far away that it's easy to feel like you're never making any progress. Tom, it's like saying your goal is to climb Mount Everest when you're standing at the bottom. The peak is so far away you can't even see it, which is incredibly discouraging. Becky, exactly. So let's forget about fluency for a while. Instead, focus on micro wins. A micro win is a small, specific, and achievable goal. For example, a micro win could be, today I understood the chorus of my favorite English song. Or, this week, I successfully ordered a coffee in English at a cafe. Or, I had a 2-minute conversation with a stranger and they understood me. Tom, those are real, tangible accomplishments. When you achieve one, you get a genuine boost of confidence. You have concrete proof that you are improving. Becky, and you should celebrate them. Acknowledge your success. Tell your accountability partner. Treat yourself to something small. By breaking down the massive journey into a series of small, winnable steps, you create a constant stream of positive feedback. That feedback is the fuel that keeps your internal motivation, your fire, burning bright, even on the coldest, darkest days. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike you like lightning. It's about building a system, creating a supportive environment, and learning to celebrate every single step forward, no matter how small. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of English Unleashed. I'm Tom, and I am Becky, and we believe in you. So until we meet again, keep moving forward, keep practicing, and never stop looking for your why. Bye for now.